So what's going to go in here is a cup of sugar, a cup of flour, 4 eggs, a cup of pumpkin puree. So you're not going to use a whole can, you're going to use out a half of one. And then you're going to need a half a teaspoon each baking powder and salt, and a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. And then the filling is comprised of 1 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, 4 tablespoons of butter, a cup of powdered sugar, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Before you start making your cake batter though, get yourself a sheet pan. This is a half sheet pan. It's 18 by 13. You can use one that is 11 by 15. It's all fine. If you use the smaller one, it'll just be a little bit thicker. So you'll have to be a bit more careful because your cake could crack. But what I've done is I've sprayed this with vegetable oil spray. I put my parchment sheet down and I made sure that it stuck. There were no air bubbles. And I sprayed the parchment sheet on top as well. So this is very, very important because this is how you get it out of the pan without breaking it. So I'm going to set this aside and preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Now I'm going to get started by cracking my eggs into my bowl. Then our sugar. And I'm just going to use the hand mixer today because this is super easy. Beat these together until they are well combined and a little bit foamy. Then we're going to go ahead and add our pumpkin in here. And our baking powder and our salt and our spices. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our flour. And stir it. You don't want to overbeat it, just until you can see that the flour is thoroughly mixed in there. And then I'm going to take my spatula and give it a good turn, just to get any unincorporated bits of flour off the sides of the bowl. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to pour this right into your pan. Now you're going to take your spatula, you're going to spread this evenly from corner to corner. Do that. Then go ahead and give it a shake and tap it. This serves 2 purposes. This is going to help it level a little more, and it's going to bring any air bubbles up that may be trapped in the batter that will leave a hole in your cake, and that could cause it to crack. Okay, now we go to the oven. We're going to bake this at 375 for 15 to 18 minutes, or until it just starts to brown around the edges and it springs back when you touch it in the center. So we'll be back when it's time to pull this from the oven. Okay, while your cake is baking, go get yourself a lint-free towel and spread it out on your counter. Make sure it's big enough that the cake will fit on it, because we're going to turn the cake out onto this, okay? What you want to do is you want to sprinkle, sorry honey, I can't do this any other way. You want to sprinkle powdered sugar, about 1/4 cup, across this towel. Okay, our pumpkin cake for our pumpkin roll is done. Now you can see when I touch it, it springs back, and you can see how it's just starting to brown around the edges in the corners. That is exactly how you want it.
And pull away.
And it's starting to pull away. So we're going to set it over here. We're going to... Okay, you're going to take your pan, and you're going to make sure that your cloth is rolled out and you've got the powdered sugar on it. And you're going to make a giant cloud of powdered sugar. Now, if you loosened it, and everything should come out just like that. That's a beautiful thing. Then you're going to take off your parchment. Just gently, so you don't tear the cake, because this cake is thin, so you don't want to tear it, okay? And if you are real sensitive to the hot part, or if you're a new cook and you haven't obtained what Nanny used to call asbestos fingers, then just be super careful, okay? Use a pot holder or a pair of tongs and just do that. Okay, discard that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the end, take the short end, and you have to do this when it's warm, and gently start to roll it up in the towel. I promise I know what I'm doing. Okay, now take this and put it on a cooling rack and let it cool completely. I'm going to just move this out of the way, pick up my cake roll, and we're just going to let that hang out. It's going to take 45 minutes to an hour for that to cool completely, and then we'll be back and we'll put the best part of the pumpkin roll in the pumpkin roll, the delicious creamy filling. It's time to make a filling for the pumpkin roll. We're going to take our softened butter and cream cheese and we're going to beat them together until they are light and fluffy and fully incorporated.
And submissive.
And so, yes, beat them into submission. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some vanilla extract, about a tablespoon. There you go. And then we're going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar. Alright, our filling is done. Now, optionally, you can add a 1/2 cup of finely chopped pecans or walnuts to this filling. That's entirely up to you. I think that we prefer it without the nuts in the filling. I like the filling to be fairly smooth. Alright, we're going to go grab the cake and we're going to unroll it. Alright, we're going to unroll our cake, and you don't want to wait too long to do this. It may still be a little bit warm, and that is okay. If you wait too long, the chances of your cake cracking are greater. Okay, now just get all this filling. Alright, and just take your spatula and spread this on, but leave about an inch border all the way around, okay? I have my, my little placemat on here, and now I'm just going to roll this up. Just like that. Now, I'm just going to grab a bread knife here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about an inch off each end, just to pretty it up. Okay. Cook's treat. Now, go ahead and transfer this to whatever plate you're going to serve it from. So I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. I'm going to stick it in my fridge where I have made plenty of room for it. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it back later when it's time to serve this up for dessert. There you have it, our finished pumpkin roll. And I don't know about you, but I think it turned out beautiful. It's so, so, so important that you allow this to chill for at least an hour. This has been in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and it's just beautiful. And I'm sure that it's delicious. You have got to try this pumpkin roll. It's super easy. You can do it at least a day ahead. You could even do it 2 days ahead. I hope you try this. I hope you love it. And most of all, I hope you have a fabulous Thanksgiving.